Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I'm going to be looking at the Syndicate cards for the Gwent Master Mirror expansion, which drops on the 30th of June. And if you guys want to see the cards that have been revealed for that expansion, I'll have a link in the description below where you can go and see them all. So let's get started, and the first thing we're going to look at is the new evolving card. So every faction has an evolving card which changes and becomes more powerful each round. So round 1 is at its weakest and round 3 is at its strongest. And in this case we have Jacques Miraculous Shadow. This character is called Jacques d'Alderberg, and here he is as a kid. When you play him you profit 4, and if you pay a 4 coin tribute you will spawn 2 Firesworn Zealots in the row. Now Firesworn Zealots are the 2 strength Syndicate token card. Okay, so at that point you're playing for 10. In round 2, he will have transformed, and you'll now have Jacques d'Alderberg, and he spawns 2 Flaming Rose Footmen in the row. So Flaming Rose Footmen, if we scroll up here, we can see the new token being added, and that is that there. That is a 3 strength, 1 armor token, so a little bit more value there from the card. You're getting an extra 2 points, and still getting Flaming Rose units. Now, Devotion means that your deck has no neutral cards. So if you have no neutral cards in your deck, then on round 3, he will transform into Jacques Grandmaster. So he has Veil. That means you cannot apply statuses to him like Lock or Bleeding or Poison. And you play Tribute 4, you'll spawn your 2 Rose Footmen again. And whenever you play a Firesworn card, he will also boost by 1. So again, a little bit more powerful. And CDPR are really kind of fleshing out their Firesworn archetype for Syndicate in this expansion, which I think is pretty cool. So if we go back up here to the special cards, we can have a wee look at what Syndicate is getting. So first and foremost, we have Smuggle. So this is a crime, so it can play into crime decks. Profit 3, spawn a Flaming Rose Footman in an ally row. So you get a Flaming Rose dude, and you get a crime. It's 6 for 5 with profit. I mean, profit 3 is okay because you can spend it. I'm not really sure about this card. We'll have to kind of wait and see where it finds its space. So moving on from there, we only have the 1 new crime being added to the game by the looks of things. Yep. So moving on from there through Syndicate, we then have more Flaming. They're all Flaming Rose, like Firesworn, Firesworn, Firesworn. You get the idea. Okay, so we have Cleric of the Flaming Rose. Profit 2, Tribute 2, spawn a Firesworn Zealot. So that's the 3-point friend on the row. Fee 1, transform a Firesworn Zealot into a Flaming Rose Footman. So actually you make the 2 strength units and then you can transform them into the 3 strength units with armor. I'm not entirely sure how useful this is. I guess it depends on, you know, whether you have cards that affect Firesworn in general, or whether you have cards that affect specifically Zealots, or whether you have cards that affect specifically Footmen. So I'll have to kind of wait and see with that. We have the Fallen Knight. Veil, Intimidate. Whenever you spawn a unit, boost self by 1 for each unit spawn. So this is a pretty straightforward card, right? Whenever you spawn a Zealot, you're getting an extra point on this engine. 6 provisions for Strength Engine. With Intimidate, so obviously he's also getting stronger when you play crimes. So actually with the new Smuggle card, the Fallen Knight's not bad, because he's going to get stronger for you playing a crime, and then he's also going to get stronger because you spawned a Flaming Rose Footman. So a nice little synergy there, and could potentially work in wildcard decks, for example, where you can play this and then immediately play this in order to boost him, for example. You have kind of options with that card, which is nice, and make him a little bit harder to remove. We have the Lonely Champion. Immunity. Deploy. Destroy all Firesworn tokens in this row, then boost self by the sum of their power. So that means Zealots and Footmen. You destroy them all, and then you boost. So this actually gives you a way of clearing the rows, which I think is relatively powerful, to be honest. I think being able to create space on your board is actually quite a big thing, because one of the issues with Swarm decks is sometimes they block themselves, but with the Lonely Champion you won't have that issue. He also has immunity, which means those points are going to be very difficult to remove, actually. So this, I feel like, is a very powerful card, now that I think about it. Next up, we have the Mutants Maker. He is a human, Salamandra, and Firesworn. Destroy an allied unit, then gain 3 coins. Devotion, gain 3 coins instead. So I guess that means if you have exclusively or no neutral cards, sorry, then you just gain 3 coins. You play it for 4 and gain 3. It seems okay. It's not particularly exciting, but it's not, you know, awful either, I would say. Yeah. So moving on down the ranks, we are getting towards our golden cards now, and we do have the new Epic Disarray. So Epic Echo. It's a legendary card. So Echo cards, you play them, and then on the start of the next round, that card will move from your graveyard to the top of your deck. So this is a card you can play more than once. Damage an enemy unit by 3 and boost all allied Firesworn units by 1. Death Blow, boost all allied units instead. So this seems pretty solid in a Fireswarm deck. You get 3 damage and you boost all your Fireswarms. So it's kind of, you know, like Bone Talisman in some way. I mean, maybe is it worth running this over something like Bone Talisman and Triss? I don't know. I feel like this is maybe a little bit underwhelming when you have, you know, you have the Death Blow and stuff so you can boost everything, but why would you want to play this when you can just play Bone Talisman or Yennefer or those kind of cards? I guess this works in a Devotion deck, so if you were going for that route, then this is good, but it seems a bit meh to me, to be honest with you. Alright, next up we have Roderick Devet. Veil Zeal Order melee. Spawn a flaming rose football in this row. At the end of turn, if order is not used, gain 1 coin. So this is kind of like Imk or Tax Collector. You play this and you gain a coin per turn. And then, but you can turn it off. You can click it to spawn an extra 3 points. So, interesting. I'm wondering if the requirement, like if it has to be on the melee row to gain coins as well, because obviously the order requires it to be on the melee row, but I don't think the coin generation does. So if it's a non-row locked coin generation, this could be quite good, with the added benefit that you can, you know, then use it to spawn 3 extra points. This is a kind of card. I've got a bit of a question mark over this card, so we'll have to kind of wait and see, I think. Alrighty, next up, Lieutenant von Herst, Human Firesworn, Horde 5. At the end of your turn, spawn a Firesworn Zealot in this row. V1, transform a Zealot into a Flaming Rose Footwood. So this is a pretty big engine, right? You have 5 coins, then every turn this guy is spawning a Firesworn. And bear in mind, you have like the Knights, which you can use to absorb the Firesworn, and you have ways of boosting all of the Firesworns as well. So this is a pretty big card, I would say. He is 4 strength, 1 armor, which means he can be removed relatively easily. 5 strength is quite easy to remove. 6 is where it gets kind of a bit tricky. So yeah, potential. I think this is, they've made a very kind of synergistic archetype with Syndicate here, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, and then moving on, I think that's actually everything for Syndicate. Yep, we've done the leader. That looks to be everything for Syndicate. So that is it in terms of the Syndicate package. It's very synergistic. There is a lot of Firesworn stuff going on, and it'll be interesting to see that in conjunction with the existing Firesworn cards. Like, I don't want to make any assumptions just because I don't know if anything is getting changed from the existing set, but I do feel like as a set together, they do have a lot of potential with swarming strategies. With that said, you know, Row Punish is a thing, and it seems like a deck that could be shut down quite easily, especially with like cards like Lambert, for example. Lambert Swordmaster, he can really shut this deck down. So I'm not entirely sure exactly how it'll work out. I don't know if it'll necessarily be popular in tournaments, just because, like I said, it's quite counterable, but does seem to have a lot of potential as an engine deck, where if you're not playing against control, you're going to have a hard time. So that is my review of the Syndicate cards in the upcoming set. Let me know what you guys think of Syndicate in the comments below. Do you like the Firesworn set? Are you a bit kind of on the fence? I'm kind of uncertain about this set. I feel like the Nilfgaard set, the Spies, seemed a little bit more powerful. And I do have a video of that on the channel if you want to see my opinions for Nilfgaard. If you enjoyed this video, you can always leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can find me on Twitter @Jaggerous and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerous. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.